866-339-1140. It's a homecoming for Russell Westbrook, and it is going to be a fun one. Obviously, Russell Westbrook is coming off the best game of his career with the Sacramento Kings. Now the question is, can he keep it going? And with Nick Clifford still out, as well as Keegan Murray, is this a conversation that needs to have as far as Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup? Now, my initial thoughts on this is no, right? And here's why. I think that Russell Westbrook going from nearly out the league, no disrespect, that's just based on the reports of nobody else calling the Russell Westbrook camp, to starting on the Kings. I think it would be a huge indictment, and not that you should make decisions based on how it looks and optics, but I think it would be a huge indictment on the roster. And I guess you could blame it on Monty McNair and say, hey, well, we're doing this because Monty McNair put together a garbage roster, and not even a garbage roster, just a roster that didn't make sense if it even was Monty, right? Maybe
whoever did it.
Yeah, whoever did it, the puppet hands, whatever it is. So that's how we're looking at this. The other part of it is when you look at the players that Russell Westbrook would be, for lack of a better term, leapfrogging. I know the argument would be, hey, well, there's nobody else like Russ. Well, you also said there was nobody else like Keon, and you said there's nobody else like all these other you said there's nobody else like Malik. And the whole thing was Russ was supposed to help as a point guard. That's what they told us. So if Russ is starting with Dennis Schroeder, then that conversation of, well, we just need another ball handler, that's not it. That's you admitting that Russ is giving you something that the rest of the team isn't giving you. So maybe that's not the best argument. I just think that right now, starting Russell Westbrook in Game 5, and I get it, you are down Neek and Keegan. It's a big deal. I just don't know that it's a great look for the Kings, simply because this is not somebody, and maybe, Russ, why not? That's been his slogan, and proving people wrong. But it just feels like you're already hitting the emergency red button, and I don't think the Kings should hit it yet. That's my initial thought. Keon Ellis, and if we look at who the Thunder are throwing out there, I really do like Russ. I know, obviously, he is kind of, being that sixth man type deal along with Malik Monk. They're kind of doing similar things, but in a different way. But I'm looking here, Kyle. You got Lou Dort. We looked him up yesterday, about 6'5", but he's a thick one. Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, Cason Wallace, Shea. That's the other part of this. The Russell Westbrook, Keon Ellis conversation, that was when Rui Hachimura was the 3, right? Or the 4, if you will. Excuse me. Austin Reeves, right? 2, 3. You had Gabe Vincent in there. So that was a separate situation. The Thunder are starting Lou Dort at forward, Chet Holmgren at forward, Isaiah Hartenstein at center, Cason Wallace at guard, and Shea at guard. I don't know if does Cason go 6'6", because if he does, Lou Dort's the shortest at 6'4", and he doesn't play like he's 6'4". All those guys are huge. So the other part is, I just don't think this is the game to what is Russ going to help? And that cute little let's put him on Lauri Markkanen thing, I'm not with that. That was cute. You got a W. The Jazz are also bad. So what were you going to put Russ on Chet? Come on, man.
Cason Wallace is 6'4", according to Basketball Reference.
So I don't. You're looking at you got Hartenstein and Sabonis. I think that's a bad matchup. Sabonis always struggled when Hartenstein was on the Knicks. So prop talk. We don't tell you to go under on Kings players, but prop talk. That's all I got to say on that.
Also,
one.
Cason Wallace is 21. How is that possible?
That's insane.
They got Chet.
This is what I'm talking about. When we talk to the beat writer at 1, what are y'all talking about on those what do you talk about if you cover the Thunder? What do you talk about when Jalen Williams is coming back? That's all you talk about. Well, and how many rings are inside of the championship ring? That's all you talk about.
Also, is he going to go for 40 tonight, 50 tonight. I mean, Shea went for 55 against the Pacers' fourth-string point guard. By the way, Chet also 23. Just everyone on the team younger than any Sacramento King.
So, the same age as the rookie, Nick Clifford. So, to me, I don't know, Kyle. I very weird situation with Isaiah Jones, but this feels like an Isaiah Jones or Isaac Jones, excuse me. This feels like an Isaac Jones thing. For whatever reason, you put him on Chet and you pray.
I mean, they did that against the Jazz, and
I think they got to do it again.
But he only played 14 minutes.
Yeah, he's like he's a placeholder. He's an opener. He's an opener to start the game, and then when all the different combinations and rotations come, then you change things up.
I just think you kind of hit the nail on the head that it's kind of just an indictment of the roster if they go with a starting lineup of Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Domantas Sabonis. I mean, that's just kind of an indictment of the lineup. And kind of what they've been doing so far is just giving them different looks. I mean, we went through the numbers yesterday of the Eubanks, Saric, Maxime Reynaud, Isaac Jones. Am I forgetting someone? Of that group, they've just kind of alternated everyone and just thrown different things, but no one's played significantly more minutes than the other so far. So that either means you have no faith in any of them, or you're just playing the matchups, which I kind of feel like it's a combo of both.
Is it time to just throw Maxime Reynaud out there?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not. I mean, how bad could it be?
It's Chet Holmgren, man. It could be pretty bad.
Well, I'm just saying but here's the thing. What I'm saying is you got away with it because the Jazz are bad. I don't think you're going to get away with that cute little let's play Russell Westbrook, no mouse in the house 4. I just don't. Number one, you're not supposed to win this game. Let me start there, right? But if you are going to win this game, I don't think you're going to win this game with Russell Westbrook guarding Chet Holmgren. I don't think that's going to happen, or anybody that Chet doesn't even. I mean, Chet is looking around like this. He's not even seeing Russell Westbrook. So I just think it's a different beast tonight, and you got to see what Isaac Jones can actually give you. Maxime Reynaud, like I said, I did think he was a little bit further along when I saw him in Summer League, but that's because he was playing other college guys. He needs work, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, look, based on how the Thunder have treated the Kings, he might get a whole quarter to play anyway. So it ain't going to be against Chet, but he might get some work in anyway. You have to see what you actually have. And, again, going back to what I said yesterday about the survival, you got the baby is 6 weeks old. You're just surviving. There's no naps. There's no anything like that. You're not actually trying to create schedules and operations. Once the baby is 2 months, whatever, now you start to, okay, this is when they need to nap, things like that. The Kings have to start and try to formulate some type of process, and starting Russell Westbrook or playing Russell Westbrook at the 4 is not doing any of that. It's not doing any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your game plan tonight is just try and score 130 points, which you still might lose, but I think that's kind of your best shot, is just how can we maximize offense.
Well, you should probably give the ball to Domantas Sabonis more.
Probably. That's a good point. Also, I know we keep talking about Jalen Williams, but Caruso's had the concussion, so I don't know if Caruso's going to play.
No, trust me. This is a rest day. They don't need Caruso. Just chill. We're good tonight.
Yeah, the Thunder haven't put out their injury report. The Kings have. It's what we think. Unfortunately, Alan, no Daquan Plowden tonight, not available.
What?
He's just, they're in Stockton, so they sent the two-way. Right. They sent the two-way players not named Dylan Cardwell to Stockton, but
all right, get your work in.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your work in, Daquan.
But
soon, your time is coming.
But I guess, your game plan is just, hey, if Chet goes for 35 points, then Chet goes for 35 points. I think we can win that way. They're going to spam double teams on Shea.
Are they, though?
They better. Good God, they better.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to treat Shea like Steph Curry. Like, just anyone else but Shea beats us, and then we score 130 points.
You know what somebody is probably thinking right now? Maybe more somebody that is more pessimistic about the Kings, is that this is a good day because it It's a day where there's no facade, right? Even Carmichael Dave said these first 3 games have been entertaining, right? They're 1-2, but these 3 games have been entertaining. The Suns game was entertaining, even though they blew the lead. Jazz, that was entertaining to the end of the game, the buzzer. And obviously it was more entertaining if you were a Laker fan, but for the most part, that was a close game. Tonight is a night that might not be entertaining. Tonight is a night that might not be fun. Tonight is a night that might look like Commanders Chiefs last night, where early on, right, that first half, Commanders get the pick, they score a touchdown, but then the Chiefs, just sidebar, the Chiefs just be out there practicing. Right, it looked like at the end of the game when it was 21-7, Andy Reid is essentially saying, "Let's work on some stuff at this point."
Nick Wright's been making that point for years: is that the Kansas City Chiefs only play 3 important games a year.
Yeah,
all of these are just scrimmages that get you ready. When they play the Broncos this year, I think that's going to be like the first actually important regular season game the Chiefs have played in like 3 years.
So, this is something that you got to dig deep if you're the Kings just to make it look respectable. You know what I mean? Just to make it look respectable. And it's not just you, it's the organization, it's the city. These are days that, and look, these are normally days where it can get a little dicey and possibly embarrassing. Now add on the fact that you're coming off Austin Reeves 51 burger. And as Dennis Schroeder said, sometimes it be like that. Yeah, you're right, Dennis. And it might be like that tonight, too, if you guys don't figure something out. So it's not even X's and O's to me as much as we're spending time talking about whether Russell Westbrook should start in this homecoming or should it be Isaac Jones, get a little bit more size. Hell, they might start Dylan Cardwell at this point. But to me, it's about something deeper than that. You cannot get embarrassed again. And it's possible. Right? When people say, well, I watch a lot, Hell's Kitchen, I'm leaving with this W, and then they lose. Right? You can say something and then still lose. You can try to manifest something and it doesn't happen. But I am not even, Kyle, it's so sad. I'm not even necessarily paying attention to the score. I am, because I want to see if they can at least cover. But I just want to see how it looks. Do you look like you belong on with dudes that are all 10 years your junior? Do you look like you belong on the same court? That's what I'm looking at.
So one of the interesting things about Westbrook, and I guess this is more so a question that I'm leading to, Doug always talks about it doesn't matter who starts, it's who finishes. Mm-hmm. Well, each of the last 2 games, Russ has been in the closing lineups with Schroeder and Levine and DeRozan and Sabonis. They've said bleep defense. We're just gonna go and see if these guys can score, and maybe Russ will guard a 4 here and there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Russ was guarding Rui at some points in the last game, but they were just trying anything to stop Reeves. Mm-hmm. But if Russ is going to be part of the closing lineup anyways, you clearly believe he's one of the 5 best players right now, so make the argument, just start him and close him.
But Kyle, who would he be guarding?
Who's he guarding in the closing minutes?
No, but that's what I'm saying. He guarded Markkanen, which means that tonight, in that lineup, Russ would be guarding Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Or Dort. Oh, I guess no, Dort. So Dort, you would have DeRozan hide on him.
Yeah.
Levine, yeah, Jesus.
On Kaysen.
Yeah. I guess you kind of have to have a big person on Chet.
That's what I'm saying. Today they got away with it because the Jazz aren't good. And they almost lost that game, but they didn't. But they got away with it because the Jazz aren't good. Right? That last possession, if that's the Thunder, they probably lose that game. So, and I'm not saying Isaac Jones is locked down. Maybe Russ has more fight just based on not more fight, but just based on his experience being in the league. But at some point, you can put lipstick on a pig if you want, but today's the day where, them filters that people be on Instagram. Today is a day where there's no filter. Today is a day you walked out of the house without makeup on. Like, today is the day where we see what the Kings really are. You can hide it against the Jazz. You can hide it against the Suns. You can hide it against the Lakers I'm just saying good games. You can hide it against these teams, the Lakers, no LeBron, no Luka. You cannot hide it today. So we're going to see what the Kings are made of. And maybe this is the first day we walk in to the show tomorrow and we say, wow, we did not expect the Kings to show up, and they did. And nobody has the Kings slated to win this game. Or we could walk in saying what was supposed to happen happened. Vegas was right. It was a blowout. We got to see Maxime because he played all the fourth quarter and Shea did not. A very, very dicey prop talk game, by the way. I would stay away, personally. I would stay away. But we're going to see what the Kings are made of. And the Russell Westbrook thing, I just think right now it should be break in case of emergency, especially when it doesn't really make sense. And I don't think it makes sense tonight. You could have made the argument, that's why we thought it was going to happen against the Lakers, because Russ could guard Rui, right? Russ could guard the Lakers starting lineup, anybody outside of Ayton. But this is a different beast today. So let you sign Isaac Jones to a guaranteed contract. Let Isaac Jones cook a little bit. Let's see what he can do. Dario and Eubanks. And my other thing on Eubanks is one of these days he has to have a decent game. I don't know when it's going to be, but he's got to look good one of these days. Maybe not today, but one of these days you would think that Eubanks would kind of formulate his bag a little bit, feel good about it. It's got to be coming. It has to be coming at some point in time. So, just a couple different ways to look at this thing. And some people are already out. 7-7 to 775 says, play the young guards, let them show up and what talents they have and build up their trade value. That's from the 775. The 916 says, once we are 5-15, can we just play our young guys? I think it's very, what month will that be? Will that be November, December? I think you're probably going to get your wish, 916, if that happens. I mean, this thing could get ugly.
Well, at that point, that's when Keegan's going to come back.
Yeah, and that's when Keegan comes back. So, it's just the Keegan thing really sunk him. I know we talked about it with Keegan's Pops, and you can check that out on YouTube. But I feel bad for Keegan specifically because he was so excited about this season. But it really, any chance of the Kings, and then you go out and you go 1-2 these first three games. But trying to get to 10-10 out of these 20 games and doing it without Keegan is tough sledding. And I'm not against Russ starting at some point. I don't think tonight is the night, personally.
Well, and the tough part, too, is that the Kings are going to be in the position where in order to get to 8-12 or 10-10, you're going to have to win games harder than Austin Reeves on your home floor.
I know you sent this to me yesterday, Kyle, but it's going to be close with Anthony Edwards, where you might get to face Anthony Edwards, or you got the Timberwolves without Anthony Edwards, who just lost to the Nuggets, I believe, last night, but he didn't play.
So some places are saying 1 week, some are saying 2 weeks. They are 12 days away from playing the Timberwolves the first time. I mean, they play them like 3 times in the first 20 games, but
right.
We're now 12 days away from the first Timberwolves game. So,
but again, that's the good thing about being the Kings. Maybe they look at it depends. They could look at it and say, hey, we don't need Ant tonight, or they could look at it and say, hey, we've lost some games since we don't have Ant. Let's get Ant in there and make sure we get a W. Which honestly, it might be the latter. It might be the latter. And I'm just looking here, Kyle, at the rest of the schedule. Obviously, the Bulls.
I saw
that's
guy
the back-to-back.
I saw our guy Drew went viral for posting the Kings schedule, and someone said they were in super hell.
Yes, I saw that too. The Bucks are always resting somebody. By the way, Ryan Rollins, I guess, is a dog defensively. Everybody keeps talking about him. And then you get the Nuggets, and then you get the Warriors. And then you get the Thunder again, and then you get the Timberwolves, and then you get the Nuggets again. So there's just no breathing room. And this is why people, will say to me, Allen, stop freaking out about those first 3 games. I can't. I literally cannot.
They were a tip in from being 0-3.
Yeah.
Against the Jazz.
I can't because that's what's ahead of them. So to the 916 talking about 5-15, I don't know that that's anybody's wish, but it might not have to be a wish. It could be somebody's nightmare. It's not the wish or the dream or the nightmare. It's just reality. It's literally just reality.
Is that the J. Cole song, Dreams and Nightmares? What is...
No, that's Meek.
Meek? Okay.
That's Meek Mill.
Yeah. See,
so
this is before my time, Alan.
Okay. So that's where we're at, 916-339-1140. And as I'm saying all this, I really just want to be wrong. And I don't even know that I've said that the Kings are going to for sure lose. It's just, the numbers are the numbers, and the past, how things have been is how things have been. But I really just hope, not me, I guess, particularly, I hope everybody's wrong. I hope the Kings just prove everybody wrong tonight.
Sorry, I just was